Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
We are tracking the lines at the polls today as Kentuckians wait to cast their vote.
And after months of campaigning, we'll soon know the winners of several races around the state, including the most anticipated Kentucky's U.S. Senate race.
And the first of 8 Corvettes swallowed up by a sinkhole has been restored and looks as good as new.
WKYT News at 5:30 starts now. Good evening. Thanks for watching. Thousands of voters showing up at the polls all over the state today to vote in today's election. And for some, voting meant waiting in some long lines.
Yeah, voters tell us longer ballots, new voting machines, and some mechanical issues caused some wait times. But as WKYT's Jordan Valines found out, that is not stopping people from casting their vote. She starts out our Team Campaign 2014 coverage live in Lexington with our top story at 5:30. Jordan?
That's right. There are still several people coming out here to cast their last-minute ballots, and officials here say they've seen a steady stream of people coming in throughout the day today. Now, today, our partners over at the Herald Leader spoke with the Fayette County Clerk Don Blevins, who estimated the voter turnout for this election should be around 50% based on the turnout in years past. Because of the long lines, the lengthy ballots, and new machines, voters who came out here to Arlington Elementary say it took them much longer than usual to cast their vote. Some folks told us they only had to wait in line for about 20 minutes. Others say they waited for more than an hour. But many voters said the longer wait time didn't deter them from casting their ballot.
Well, if we don't vote, we don't get to complain, you know. That's the thing, you know. And, you know, after being in the military years ago, it's something that, you know, just kind of things you got to do. And you feel good after you do it. You hate standing there and fidgeting and say, come on, man. But once you're done, you feel pretty good about it.
And as long as you're in line by 6 p.m. tonight, you will be able to vote for this year's election. Live in Lexington, Jordan.
Lines, WKYT. All right, we apologize for a little bit of audio difficulty there from Jordan. Now, if you have not voted yet, you still have about a half an hour to do so. Kentucky polls are open through 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
In just a few hours, we will know the results for tonight's most anticipated race, Kentucky's U.S. Senate seat. For Allison Lundergan Grimes supporters, the Carrick House will be the place to be tonight in Lexington. She'll be watching results come in while they are gathering on the front lawn. Grimes' day started pretty early. She voted about 7:30 this morning and then went to Mass with her family before going to official meetings with the Board of Elections. As for Grimes' opponent, Senator Mitch McConnell, he is in his hometown of Louisville tonight, waiting for the polls to close there. The ballroom of the Marriott, just off of Hurstbourne Lane in Louisville, is full of reporters and media from around the world waiting to find out what happens tonight. Senator McConnell cast his vote earlier today, about 11 o'clock, in Louisville at Bellarmine College. The senator said very little as he was leaving, only that he hoped that there would be a Republican majority in the Senate when this night is over.
Voters in Central Kentucky's 6th Congressional District will decide if Republican Andy Barr gets another term. Democratic challenger Elizabeth Jensen hopes to take Barr's job. WKYT's Jennifer Palumbo is at the live desk with how the two spent this election day. Hello, Jennifer.
Hi, Amber. The 6th District has about 507,000 registered voters and covers 19 counties. Both candidates live in Fayette County and voted today in Lexington. Congressman Andy Barr cast his ballot just before 8 this morning at Morton Middle School with his wife Carol. Elizabeth Jensen voted around 10:30 this morning at Mount Olivet Church on Delaware Avenue. The two also made a few stops in Lexington and Paris.
We believe that the larger the turnout, the better it is because, again, we've been getting great feedback, and so we want everybody to vote.
I was so proud and so happy to vote today. There are so many great candidates on the ballot this year. It's really been a great year for engagement, particularly for the Democratic Party.
The 50-year-old Jensen is the executive director of the Race for Education, a nonprofit that focuses on illiteracy. This is her first run for office. The 41-year-old Barr worked as an attorney before he was elected congressman 2 years ago. The 6th District is made up of 58% Democrats, 34% Republicans, and 8% others. At the live desk, Jennifer Palumbo, WKYT.
Jennifer, thank you for the latest Election Day results. Head over to WKYT.com. We will constantly be updating results on our website as they come in.
In keeping with the spirit of the day, we have a couple of Election Day good questions to answer from our viewers tonight. The first one, Susan from Lexington is asking, since Allison Lundergan Grimes is a candidate this year in the Kentucky Senate race, and she is also Kentucky's current Secretary of State, who is in charge of counting today's votes? The Secretary of State does not count votes regardless of whether she or he is running for office. The county clerks across the state are responsible today for counting or tabulating votes in their precincts. They then report those numbers to the State Board of Elections. Our second good question from Keith in Sadieville. What percentage of Kentucky voters are registered as independents? Of just over the 3 million registered voters for this election in Kentucky, less than 8% are listed as other. Now, that means they check the box other rather than Democrat or Republican. There are only 65,000 registered specifically as independent party voters, so a very small percentage of the total registered voters. If you have a good question, go to WKYT.com.
Well, it certainly was a beautiful day to get out there and vote. We saw some warmer temperatures this election day, but that's going to change come tomorrow for us. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking some wet weather heading our way. How about it, Chris?
Yeah, that wet weather will eventually chill us down big time as we go into the middle and latter parts of the week. But out there today, Amber, about as good as it can get for an election day around here in the month of November. Gusty winds, mild temperatures giving way to late afternoon clouds, and live First Alert Defender tracking some rain coming from the clouds not too far away from us. A little shower action. Steadier rains, though, exactly 100 miles away from downtown Lexington into parts of southern Indiana. Western Kentucky seeing the heavy rains around Owensboro and Paducah. Notice how that's a fairly thin band of heavy rain that is now into parts of Illinois and Indiana. That'll slide toward the east as we head into overnight as a cold front works its way on into town. A little wave of low pressure will slow that bad boy down just a little bit, keeping the rains around into tomorrow night. Weather headlines, though, all about the heavy rain that is blowing on in. Then we start to track blasts of cold. It's a pattern over the next couple of weeks that is straight out of winter time. Potential is there, at least for a couple of areas, for a few more snowflakes later this week into the coming weekend. We'll focus on that when I come back with the hour-by-hour forecast in just a few.
Investigators believe they have identified a man killed in a fiery crash overnight in central Kentucky. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Boyle County. That's where deputies say a man lost control of his truck on Hubble Road and crashed into a tree. The truck then caught fire. The coroner tells us the man is a middle-aged man, but it will take several days for a positive ID. The victim's body is in Frankfort right now to be identified. We're told investigators don't suspect any foul play. They believe it was the accident that caused that truck to catch fire. In Scott County, fire officials believe they know what sparked a fire at a Georgetown business. That fire broke out late yesterday afternoon at A&Z Towing on Industry Road in Georgetown. Investigators say as of now they believe sparks from a welder's tool started the fire. Employees who were inside at the time say it took only about 90 seconds for the fire to spread, destroying the business and an apartment above. No one was hurt in that fire. And in Warren County, time is running out if you want to check out that massive sinkhole at the National Corvette Museum. In about 3 weeks, crews will begin filling the sinkhole and finish repairs to the Sky Dome. Museum leaders hope to have it finished by July. The sinkhole that damaged 8 Corvettes in February has become a major attraction for the museum. One of those Corvettes swallowed by the sinkhole has already been restored. The 2009 ZR1 Blue Devil is the first of the 8 to be fixed. It is on display in Las Vegas right now and will be shipped back to Bowling Green. If you want to see the sinkhole, you have until Saturday.